Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the larger-than-life story of one of history's most famous, or perhaps infamous, monarchs, King Henry VIII of England. His reign was a whirlwind of power, passion, and radical change that reshaped a nation. So, grab your popcorn, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Henry was born in 1491, the second son of King Henry VII. He wasn't originally destined for the throne. That was his older brother, Arthur. But when Arthur died unexpectedly, young Henry's fate was sealed. He became the heir apparent, and in 1509, at just 17 years old, he ascended to the throne as King Henry VIII. In his youth, he was the total package: handsome, athletic, intelligent, and a patron of the arts. He was seen as a Renaissance prince, the great hope for England's future. For the first 20 years of his reign, things were relatively stable. He married his brother's widow, Catherine of Aragon, a Spanish princess. They had a daughter, Mary, but Henry was desperate for a male heir to secure the Tudor dynasty. This obsession would become the driving force behind the most dramatic events of his life. As Catherine aged and failed to produce a son, Henry's eyes began to wander. Enter Anne Boleyn. She was a charismatic and clever lady-in-waiting at court, and Henry became utterly infatuated with her. He wanted to annul his marriage to Catherine so he could marry Anne, but there was a huge problem. The Pope in Rome refused to grant the annulment. Catherine was, after all, the aunt of the Holy Roman Emperor, a very powerful man. Henry's solution was radical and unprecedented. Frustrated with the Pope, he decided to break away from the authority of the Roman Catholic Church entirely. In the 1530s, through a series of acts of Parliament, he declared himself the supreme head of the Church of England. This monumental event, known as the English Reformation, wasn't just about his love life. It gave him control over the Church's immense wealth and power. He finally married Anne Boleyn, who gave him another daughter, Elizabeth. But when Anne also failed to produce a male heir, Henry's affection turned to suspicion. He accused her of treason and had her executed. It was a shocking and brutal move that set a dark precedent. Just days after Anne's execution, Henry married Jane Seymour. She finally gave him what he had always wanted, a son, Edward. But tragically, Jane died from complications shortly after childbirth. Henry was said to be genuinely heartbroken. Of all his wives, she was the only one he chose to be buried with. After Jane, there were 3 more wives. His fourth marriage, to Anne of Cleves, was a political match that ended in a quick and amicable annulment, because Henry found her unattractive. Next came the young Catherine Howard, whose alleged infidelity led to her execution, another tragic chapter. His final wife, Catherine Parr, was a mature widow who outlived him. She was a stabilizing influence in his later years and helped reconcile Henry with his daughters, Mary and Elizabeth. As Henry aged, his health declined dramatically. The handsome, athletic prince became obese and was plagued by painful leg ulcers, likely from a jousting accident years earlier. His temper grew more volatile, and his court lived in a state of fear. In 1547, at the age of 55, King Henry VIII died. His legacy is incredibly complex. He was a tyrant who executed tens of thousands, including 2 of his own wives. But he was also a charismatic leader who strengthened the English monarchy, patronized the arts, and built up the Royal Navy. His desperate quest for a male heir ironically paved the way for 2 of England's most powerful queens, his daughters, Mary, I, and Elizabeth I. The religious changes he set in motion would shape the course of British history for centuries to come. So, there you have it, the dramatic, turbulent, and unforgettable life of Henry VIII. What do you think is his most lasting legacy? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history.